Welcome to Craft in America's Sunday Sound Streams. We have been hosting live music at the Craft in America Center for the past 8 years. This summer, we're presenting a virtual mini concert series, and today we are thrilled to feature Maggie Hasspacher and Noah Reitman. Classical bassists and singer-songwriters, Maggie and Noah are streaming live from Vancouver.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Noah, this is Maggie, live from our studio. I guarantee you the view is way better from the other side, but it was way too hard to figure out the sound and everything. So we're just going from this side. Now we have our next arrangement, Little Bach. This is for my bass playing friends who are probably out there in droves, thousands, hundreds, tens. Anyway, here you go. You'll know this one. That was a lot of fun.
That
Reminded
was
me of taking auditions.
the Badanerie from Jazz Box.
Or Jazz Box Orchestral Suite Number 2. It's usually for flute, but it was sung very prettily by Maggie
Can you also
Hasspacher.
say what the first tune was?
The first tune was Always Time to Do the Right Thing, which was written by Maggie. And what was the song about? Can you talk about it for a second?
I think many of us, also in this time, struggle with feelings of confusion, guilt, and not knowing exactly what we're supposed to do until it sort of emerges, and it emerges to me very clearly at a certain point that, okay, yeah, it's not too late. It's always time to do the right thing, and that's what that tune sort of reflects, the sort of lost part, and then the celebratory
So, this is a concert for Craft in America, and I will say that I have known Craft in America from the beginning. My mother is Carol Sovian, the founder of Craft in America. She tried to make me pot when I was 4 years old. She didn't try to make me, but I could never figure out how to center the clay. So I never really got on board with the whole potting thing. But I did find the bass. And it's very funny because basses are handmade by artisans, by craftspeople. And it really is a craft. And so even though I'm not in the craft world, every day I relate to this handmade object, and we relate to it. And just like this is American crafts that we're dealing with, there is a school of American composing. So the next piece that we're going to play is by a composer named Armand Russell. You'll hear sort of very pastoral sounds, a little bit like Aaron Copland, very much of the middle of the last century. This piece was written in 1963. And we got it out of this book by Oscar Zimmerman called The Great Solos of the Double Bass. One of the things that we've been able to do in this time is just go through our library and say, oh, gee, I mean, I don't have to prepare a concert every week. We both play. I'm a member of the Vancouver Symphony. And just say, oh, let's explore the different repertoire. So we've just been noodling around on a lot of things. And luckily, my wife is a very skilled pianist, considering she hasn't taken lessons since, fourth grade? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be playing now this piece by Armand Russell. It's called the Chaconne, and we hope you enjoy it.
10th grade.
10th grade, excuse me. I'm going to take a break now and go do my secondary duty as sound engineer.
Thank you so much, Noah, for that beautiful rendition of the Chaconne that celebrated an American composer. And I think it's very important to keep in mind, despite all that's going on in our home country, that we have pride in the people that we love and our friends and family there. So we're going to have another American composer here on the program. This is a piece by Paul Brantley, who's a composer living in New York City. He wrote this 2 years ago for me, and it's titled Alone, which is very relevant to this time of quarantine, although we're emerging from it, but it's been difficult for many of you and us, and this piece sets a poem by James Joyce from Poems Penny Each. Thank you, Paul, for that lovely piece. Next is another prayer for this time, an arrangement of my own. Carol, for having us. We have a couple more tunes for you.
Allow me. Now that I turned the main microphone on. Whoops.
So,
Well, let me introduce the next tune. So, as I said, I've known Craft in America since day one, and the great thing about Craft. So my mother had this idea. We were traveling across the country. It was the year 1996, and Pete Seeger had an album out. I think it was just entitled Pete, and he did a lot of his biggest hits, and the biggest hits that he did with the Weavers. We listened to that album probably 100 times on that trip. It was a cassette. And that's the trip where I remember we visited artists all over the country. And that was the trip where my mom said, okay, I want to do this. I want to go around the country. I want to interview all these people. I want to get them excited. I want to just share their stories of how they got into this, and how craft makes the fabric of American culture is this folk craft. And she just had so much passion for that, and so I'll always have that soundtrack in my head for this time. I'll always have that soundtrack of Pete singing his greatest tunes. And so with that in mind, I'm going to go way out of my comfort zone. I'm going to. This is like following a famous singer, and now I'm going to sing with my very amateur pipes.
oh, come on.
So and also amateur hour on the guitar. I blame nepotism because I got booked for the show because my mom is the person running the thing. So anyway, okay, so here we go. When I was a young man, never been kissed, I got to thinking over what I had missed. I got me a girl, I kissed her and then, oh boy, I kissed her again. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine.
He asked me to marry, be his sweet wife. We would be happy all of our lives. He begged and he pleaded like a natural man. And then, oh Lord, I gave him my hand. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine.
I worked mighty hard and so did my wife. We worked hand in hand to make a good life. Born in the field and wheaten up in. I was, oh Lord, the father of Madeline. Ooh, how now. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Ooh, kisses sweeter than wine. Number just about 4. They all had sweethearts knocking at the door. They all got married and they didn't hesitate. There was a, oh Lord, the grandparents of 8.
Oh,
Kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Now we won't. to go. Back to thinking what happened a long time ago. Had a lot of kisses, trouble and pain, but oh Lord, we do it again. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than wine. Oh, kisses sweeter than
Perfect. We're perfect.
Do we have auto-tune, Terry? Do we have auto-tune?
Oh, no.
Okay. This last tune, we have 2 new works we'd like to share with everybody. So just give me a second. I'm going to go get one of the works from the other room.
Oh, yuck. Uh-huh. Our great George. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You know, if it's not going well, just bring in a cute baby. That's what they always say. You know, that's what they say in show business.
It's okay.
Baby dreams.
Baby dreams. Baby dreams. Baby dreams. Flashes red, flashes white, whispered songs in the night. Kicks a bump, wiggles rump, mama's heart's going thump, 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 thump. And the rock and the swing throughout the day makes me float away. Baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams. Warm and wet water beds, see you stretching my neck. Ah, salty sweet, was that me? Got no choice what I eat. Before I see morning bright, I breathe the breath of mommy's light. In the womb, in the womb, in the womb. Baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams, baby dreams. Too shy.
She just woke up from a nap.
She won't take her solo. In the womb, womb, in the womb, womb, in the womb, thank you so much for tuning in to our half-hour set for Craft in America. We really appreciate you watching.
Check out all of the concerts coming up, and check out all of the series on craftinamerica.org. And also go in and visit the study center when everything opens up.
That was our new tune by both of us, Baby Dreams. And thank you again to K.O. Sylvia and Terry DeCastro for hosting us this afternoon.
Thank you for listening, and a big thank you to Maggie and Noah. Join us in 2 weeks on Sunday, July 26th for violinist and singer-songwriter Melinda Rice at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Craft in America is a nonprofit organization with a mission to promote handcrafted work through programs in all media. Our Craft in America Center on West 3rd Street in Los Angeles produces 6 to 8 exhibitions per year, featuring work by local and nationally acclaimed artists. The center also operates an education outreach program for public K-12 schools and local colleges. Our Peabody Award-winning series has produced 23 episodes to date, and you can watch all episodes for free on craftinamerica.org and pbs.org.